أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Last night we discussed about the role of Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi in the first battle of Islam, which was called Badr. And since from tomorrow onwards till 21st night we shall be remembering Imam Ali alayhi salam again and again for his martyrdom, the first martyr from Ahlul Bayt, in whose martyrdom both the aspects were joined together, the sword and the poison. And therefore we find that this is how the tradition of martyrdom in Ahlul Bayt begins with Imam Ali alayhi salam, where the sword itself was poisoned before he was struck with that sword. Tonight I believe there is a need, briefly, to understand historically as to what transpired with Imam alayhi salam and the events which finally led to the event which took place tomorrow and day after tomorrow when we sit to discuss that. Let us remember one thing, that Imam Ali alayhi salam, right from the time of the Prophet, when the battle of Badr began, till later, was remembered by two sections of the people. One were his partisans and his friends and his lovers, and one were his enemies. After the battle of Badr, it was common for the mushrikeen of Makkah to sit at home and remember two individuals, curse them, and swear that we are going to take our revenge. One was Hamza, as I said last night, and the other was Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Now, soon after Badr, there was another battle which is called Uhud. And those of you who have been, have seen, and those who have not been, inshallah, will see. And those of us who have gone will go again and again. Near the mountain of Uhud, you will see there is a grave of Hamza alayhi salam. He was martyred in the battle of Uhud, soon after Badr. And history tells us that when he was martyred, the wife of Abu Sufyan, Hind, was not content with that martyrdom alone. What she did was that she ordered someone to disembowel, actually, to bring out the entrails and the intestines of Hamza out. And she took out a piece of liver and she chewed it raw. And she hit with her feet the face of Hamza and said, Hamza, we have avenged for what you did in Badr to us. That is the reason why the mother of Muawiyah, that is Hind, the wife of Abu Sufyan, in history has been recorded as Akilatul Akbad, the one who ate and chewed the livers. And in fact, even Muawiyah was known as Ibnu Akilatil Akbad, the son of the mother who chewed the liver raw. Now who remained? Naturally Imam Ali alayhi salam. Thereafter, from Uhud onwards, take any battle in the times of the Prophet, you will find that the foremost is Imam Ali alayhi salam. And when they came home, when they started mourning their own people, the first name they took was Ali, that Ali did this for us. Ali did. And when Imam Ali alayhi salam was asked, he said, yes, I did, but I have never killed a person because of my personal rancor or anguish. I have killed because Allah ordered to do it. And the philosophy of Islam is that the love towards people is in the name of Allah, and when there comes And enmity, the enmity is also in the name of Allah, which is called in akhlaq, hub lillah wal bughd lillah. But it was very difficult for them to assimilate this. That is one thing. When the Prophet passed away, and in the days of first Khilafah, Abu Bakr, and days of second Khilafah, Umar, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, for the sake of Islam, cooperated whenever there was any need. If there was any question they could not solve, he would come. If he was summoned to the court and said, Ya Ali, what is the ruling on this particular incident? He used to rule. Or what is the tafsir of Quran? He used to tell them. When delegations came from outside to ask on Islamic points, no one was there to answer. Ali ibn Abi Talib was there. In history, I have at least collected 11 incidents where Umar ibn Khattab has clearly said, Lawla Aliyun lahalaka Umar. If there was no Ali to save me, Umar would have been destroyed. In fact, once he said, Ya Ali, may not Allah leave me to live when the son of Abu Talib is not there. When Uthman was to be made the Khalifa, Umar devised a new method, a method of what we call shura. Now this is now very well known in the Jamaat because we also have shura, so there is no problem in explaining. But the fact is that shura is a consultative assembly or a committee. He elected 6 people. Among them 2 candidates themselves. That means Uthman was also there and Imam Ali also was there. And he said, Abdurrahman ibn Auf will be the umpire or the referee. And Abdurrahman ibn Auf was the brother-in-law of Usman. And I think, I haven't read anyone earlier saying this, but the first man to contrive casting vote was Umar ibn Khattab. Casting vote for the president, casting vote. That means the president or the umpire has a deliberative vote. Huh? And when there is a tie, the president has a casting vote. This system of casting vote was first devised by Umar. Because he said that I have 6 people here in this consultative assembly and Abdurrahman ibn Auf is the umpire. If there is a tie, then whoever gets the vote of Abdurrahman ibn Auf, casting vote, he shall be the Khalifa. And whoever then, after casting vote, opposes, he must be killed. That was the order before he died. Now there was a tie, once, twice. There was a tie because Uthman and Ali ibn Abi Talib both. Now they could not say not Uthman. They could not either say not Ali. And there was a tie. So they went to the oldest man, naturally, the one who would advise. They went to Amr ibn al-As, the popular manipulator of politics. And they said, Amr, we have a problem. He said, what is the problem? He said, the problem is that we can't decide now. This consultation is going to be null and void. He said, there's no problem whatsoever. The solution is very simple. There are 2 candidates, right? You tell them that Khilafah, you go to Ali first because Ali is better. I mean, he was a very clever man. Amr ibn al-As was a very clever. He said, go to Ali first. Give him in his hands Quran and say, Ya Ali, we are all prepared to make you a Khalifa, provided you promise that you will act according to Quran and according to the Sunnah of the Prophet and according to the Sunnah of the 2 Khalifas who have gone before you. If he accepts, there is no one like him. If he rejects, then give it to Uthman and see what he says. Well, this is something. Now, we have come to a solution. So they came again, they reconvened and they told Imam Ali that, Ya Ali, there is no doubt, being the husband of Fatima and the father of Hassanain and the nearest of the Prophet And having this fadail, they started fadail after the other. And they said, you have the preference. Now this is kitab, Quran. And the sunnah of the Prophet, you know better. And the seerah of shaykhain. Seerah means you'll have to follow the tradition of the two shaykhs. That is Abu Bakr and Umar who passed by. And Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam said that as far as kitab is concerned, there is no doubt. And there is no one who knows better than I do. I know when it was revealed. I know whether it was night or day, whether it was in the journey or at home. I know whether it was in peacetime or in wartime. I know for the individuals it was revealed. Therefore, none knows better than I do. As far as sunnah of the Prophet is concerned, you know, whenever you were in problems, you always came to ask me. But as far as the seerah of shaykhain is concerned, that is not binding to me at all. Because in Sharia, there is nothing like seerah of shaykhain. It is kitabullah wa sunnatul rasul. That's all. If I find somewhere the shaykhain have gone wrong, I will rule according to Quran and the sunnah of Rasul. Oh, they said, then this is difficult, Ya Ali. Sorry. They withdrew. And they went to Uthman. Uthman had no reservations about it, no qualms. He swallowed it, as they said, hook, lead and sinker. And he said, yes, I am ready, and he was given this. And Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, read Nahjul Balagha to, you will find out what Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam says. He says, they knew, Allahu Akbar, they knew that the height of Ali ibn Abi Talib is so high that no bird can reach in its flight. La yarqa ilayya at-tayr. They knew my depth, they knew my profundity, they knew my capabilities, but they decided what they decided. He kept quiet. When Mawla became Khalifa, after the death of Uthman when he was killed, now the problem starts, and I will be very brief because tomorrow inshallah ta'ala we'll go, but it must be known what is the background. Those who were used to getting all the fat amounts and money, special and preferential treatment from the Khulafa, in one day Ali ibn Abi Talib al-Islam cancelled all the privileges and preferences, saying that all will receive exactly equal amount. And when the first treasure came in, Mawla Ali alayhi salam sat down, calculated, and on that day, it came to 2 dirham per head. 2 dirham. Of course, in those days, 2 dirham was not a small sum. Imam alayhi salam gave 2 dirham to all. Talha and Zubair came to know that something is being distributed, but it is only 2 dirham. They were used to millions, Baba. So they went away. They were somewhere near a well, standing as if pretending to draw water. Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam went up to that place and said, Talha, salamun alayk. Alaykum salam, ya Ali. What can I do? He said, 2 dirham. This is yours. He looked at those dirhams and looked at Ali. And Zubair is the cousin of Imam Ali. Phupizada, son of the aunt of Ali. Zubair, this is yours. Now both of them looked at each other and then said, Ya Ali, 2 dirham? He said, yes. And these are mine, 2 dirham as Khalifa. 2. No more. So the first group which started against Ali ibn Abi Talib are called Nakithin. The second group which started is called Qasitin. And the third group which started is called Mariqin. These were the Nakithin, because after this they broke the oath of allegiance. Because then they thought Ali might even make us governor or give us some rule. They came, which we have heard often from ulama, they came home when Ali ibn Abi Talib was writing the accounts, and there was a candle which was lit at that time, and when they entered, Ali ibn Abi Talib extinguished and put off the candle and lit another candle. So they asked, Ya Ali, why? He said, that candle which was then burning here was with the money of Baytul Mal of Muslimin, and I was writing the accounts of Baytul Mal. You have come now for personal conversation, therefore I will light a candle from my own money. So Talha and Zubair looked at each other. Without mentioning anything, they went away. As they came out, they said, what can you expect of a person who draws such a fine line between two candles? So they prepared an army under the pretext and excuse that Ali killed Uthman. And the person who headed the army was Aisha, the wife of the Prophet. This first battle was fought, and this is called the Battle of the Camel, or Jange Jamal. And Imam Ali alayhi salam tried his level best to explain to them, don't do this. They would not listen, because this was a Muslim army against a Muslim army. The fact is that here was Imam Adil and here was a Naqif. On the day of the battle, when there was a confrontation, Imam alayhi salam called Zubair. This is very interesting. And said, Zubair, tell me, why have you come? Don't you know Ali ibn Abi Talib? He said, I know you perfectly well, but you are responsible for killing Uthman. And Uthman is one of the Ashara Mubashara. Ashara Mubashara are those 10 people who were given the Basharat of Jannah in their lifetime by the Prophet. Ashara Mubashara, there are 10. The Prophet gave them the good news that they are Jannati in their lifetime. Of course, the list differs. The list of theirs is Uthman is there. So he said, Uthman is one of the Ashara Mubashara, and you have killed one of those, therefore you must also be punished. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, Zubair, let us count the names of those Ashara Mubashara. Come on, count them. So he started counting. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and he went on up to 9. 9. And then Ali said, who is the 10th? So Zubair said, Ali, you are the 10th. That you are. He said, and now what has happened? And I am also from Ashra Mubashira. You have come to fight me. So he said, yeah, Ali, I never pondered over this point this way. And he left the army and did not fight. Zubair was killed by somebody else, not in the battle. He left the army. So this is the first group. The battle was won by Ali ibn Abi Talib. Aisha was sent home with all the respect that she commanded and deserved, because Ali alayhi salam said she is the wife of the Prophet. Send her home with all her respect. We don't want to dishonor anyone. And the wife of Prophet came home. One man from Sham once came to see Aisha and said, Aisha, Ya al-Mu'mineen, oh mother of the believers, I want to ask you a mas'ala. She said, yes. He said, what would you say of a mother who kills her own sons? Aisha said, such a mother must be killed also. She said, what about you? Being the mother of Mu'mineen, you killed so many. She said, drive this man out. He reminds me of Ali. Right? Muawiyah saw this, that this battle did not succeed. Another battle of Siffin was fought. Within 4 years and 9 months, Ali ibn Abi Talib had to fight so many battles. This was from Qasitin. Now here there was no aspiration or ambition for governorship. Here the difference was political, in a sense, that Ali ibn Abi Talib is the rightful successor or Muawiyah is the rightful successor. And this is most important part of Islamic history. Even in this battle, what happened is very important to know. Within 2 minutes I will explain. As Ali ibn Abi Talib was advancing, and Maliki Ashtar was just on the verge of toppling the whole Muawiyah's tent, Amr ibn al-As, again I have to take his name, by now he's the prime minister. He said, Muawiyah, do you know who Maliki Ashtar is? Maliki Ashtar is Ali ibn Abi Talib's general, and when he fights hungry. He has said himself, Maliki Ashtar has said in his own poetry that when I fight hungry. That means I fight for days on end without any food. وَأَنَا ثَاوِي. Thawi means hungry. He fights like a lion. He is just approaching the tent. This tent is toppled, then everything is toppled. So Muawiyah said, what shall I do? He said, I will tell you what to do. Take some Quran, copies of Quran, and put them on the spear and come out. Tell people to come out with Quran lifted on the spears to say that we want Quran, we want Quran to be our arbitrator. And we will now do whatever Quran says. We don't want to fight. Allahu Akbar. When Quran was brought on the spears, and these Muslims, when they saw Quran, they said, Naam, Quran, there's nothing better than Quran. So they came to Imam Ali and said, stop the battle now. Because now Quran has stood in between. We shall decide according to Quran. Imam Ali said, this Quran is Quran Samit. I am Quran Natiq. This is the Quran which I am supposed to interpret to you. I am telling you fight. And they said, Ya Ali, if you fight any further, we will kill you now. Quran, don't you see Quran? Imam Ali sent someone to Malik and said, Malik, retreat. Malik sent back the answer to say, Ya Ali, give me few moments. And the battle is now drawn to the close. Imam Ali said, if I am your Imam, return. Malik Ashtar had to return. Now when he returned, Imam Ali said, now tell me, what do you want? The people said, Ya Ali, we don't want you or Muawiyah to sit. We want an independent committee to meet from your side, our side and their side and decide according to Quran. Imam Ali said, right, now appoint someone from our side. And they said, Abu Musa Ash'ari. Abu Musa Ash'ari was a man who did not know anything and a man who could be sold or bought, but very old man. Imam said, my people, this man will sell us out. You better take Abdullah ibn Abbas, someone who understands. He said, no, we want Abu Musa Ash'ari. Imam said, all right, Abu Musa Ash'ari. Imam told Abu Musa, go. Ask them who is appointed by them. Who could be appointed from there? Amr ibn al-As himself. The battle was actually a ceasefire. These two gentlemen sat for months, deciding what to do. There was a stalemate. And then one day Amr ibn al-As said, look, Abu Musa, you are an old man. You know much better than I do, but this cannot go on now. So let us do one thing. I have decided that we should have a third man, neither Muawiyah nor Ali. So we should decide and tell them, how about your son-in-law, Abdullah ibn Umar? He gave him a good bait. Your son-in-law to become Khalifa. So Abu Musa said, that is not a bad idea. Yes. Because these two are the roots of all the problems. So we get rid of them and bring a third person. So he said, right, we call a Jummah prayer on Jummah day. You will go to the mimbar first. You will say that I am divesting Ali of Khilafah. Then I will go and I will say, I am divesting Muawiyah of Khilafah. Then we will appoint Abdullah ibn Umar. Fine. So a call was made and people assembled. And Abu Musa was sent first. Amr ibn al-As said, you go first because you are an old man, mashallah. He went and said, oh people, for the sake of the welfare of this whole ummah, we have decided that Ali is not capable. Therefore I divest him of Khilafah. And he sat down. Amr ibn al-As came next and said, oh people, did you hear? Did you hear what he said? Ali is not on Khilafah. I also confirm that Ali is now no more in Khilafah. And then he removed his ring from one hand and put it into the other. I give it to Muawiyah. There is a poem, complete poem by Amr ibn al-As, which is called Juljuliyah. He is reciting this to impress upon Muawiyah that how much he has obliged Muawiyah. He says, Allah. خلعت الخلافة من حيدر كخلع النعال من الأرجل وألبستها فيك بعد الأياس كلبس الخواتيم في الأنمل. O Muawiyah, I am the one who removed Khilafah from Ali the way people remove their shoes. And I gave it back to you the way people easily wear their finger bands. And there was an uproar. People rushed to hit him, Abu Musa, instead of Amr ibn al-As. And when they came back to Imam Ali, instead of acknowledging their own fault, they accused Ali ibn Abi Talib that why did you accept this committee? Imam said, is it my fault? I was telling you to advance. You told me to halt. When I halted, you appointed a committee. You appointed the person to represent you. Now what have I done? He said, no, you are kafir. So they gave a hukum of takfir of Ali ibn Abi Talib. That Uthman, Muawiyah and Ali, Nauzubillah, are all kafirs. This is happening. It happened while only 1 or 1.5 years were remaining for his khilafah. Imam alayhi salam came back. Muawiyah ruled Syria and Damascus. Mawla was in Kufa and Medina and Mecca was in his control. It remained the same way. But the code of descent was there. Imam Ali alayhi salam had this, a group of enemies within his group who always, they remained with Ali ibn Abi Talib and they abused him. This is the reason why. If you see somewhere like in Zanzibar or in Mombasa where the Ibadis or the Khawarijis have got their own mosques, when they pray like Shias. They pray like Shias. They pray like with their hands open. And they have all the fiqh, which is nearly ours. But when you talk of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, they abuse him. Nowadays they have calmed down, but in earlier days they used to write Imam Ali's name on the sole of their shoes and walk with it. Now Mawla had to put up with this. And there was a final battle which Mawla had to fight with them in Naharwan. Because they went on and on, showing the code of descent. And Mawla had to warn them. 12,000 people at the river of Naharwan, they came and faced Imam Ali, spent 3 days explaining them that please don't fight. Try to understand what is the meaning of Imam. 8,000 out of them retreated. 4,000 remained to fight. And when they fought with Ali ibn Abi Talib, not a single one was saved. All of them were killed. And Imam alayhi salam retreated. After the Naharwan, of course, this was the final straw. Then, of course, in every household, they used to sit like this, and each one would stand up and say, so and so, who killed him? The other man would say, Ali. So and so, who killed him? Someone say, Ali. The whole list was recited and the answer was Ali. And then they would weep and lament the deaths of all. One day they decided that we must avenge the blood. Now I'm coming to the final stage. That 3 people were appointed. This is historical. 3 people were appointed to kill Muawiyah, Amr ibn al-As, and Ali ibn Abi Talib. And they decided that we should kill them the same day. Same day. So that we know that all these 3 are eliminated. Muawiyah was in Damascus. Amr ibn al-As in those days was in Egypt. Mawla Ali was in Kufa. So they decided, these 3 people, they kept it as a very secret plot to be done by individuals on the oath that if we are caught and killed, nobody should know what has happened. Now what happened? Right on the 19th of Ramadan, the first man who came to Damascus to hit Muawiyah succeeded. While in Namaz al-Subh, Muawiyah was praying between Ruku and Sajda, this man hit him with the sword on his thigh. And Muawiyah immediately screamed. As he screamed, people arrested the attacker, and Muawiyah was immediately taken to the palace, and his treatment began. Now, the Hakim who came, who said, Muawiyah, there are 2 treatments for this. One is that we'll have to put dam. You know dam? We take an iron, you see, heat it red hot in fire, and then you treat the patient. And second thing is that we have got some medicine to drink, which will take time. But in either case, this treatment is such that you will have no further children. The descendants, you can't reproduce after this. He said, whether I can reproduce, I don't. Muawiyah has got Yazid, which is enough. But I want to be treated by medicine and not by fire, because I can't even see fire. How can I put myself to fire treatment? So that treatment started. But the man who was arrested, Muawiyah said, cut off his head. So he said, Muawiyah, al-bashara, al-bashara. Good news to you, whether you want to kill me or you don't want to kill me. I have got good news to give you, that today even Ali ibn Abi Talib is being killed there because we have decided, and this is the plot. You wait, if the news reaches that he has been killed, do whatever you want to do with me. If he has not been killed, or if the plot has been foiled, then you can cut my head. So he was put in the prison. After a few days, when the news of Ali ibn Abi Talib's martyrdom came, Muawiyah released him in the joy of Ali's martyrdom. History. Amr ibn al-As. On that day, of all the days, he had some stomach upset. And he did not come for namaz subh. And someone who was the qadi of the city, his name was Kharija, he came for namaz subh, poor fellow. This man who had come to hit Amr ibn al-As thought this is Amr ibn al-As, and in sajda he hit him on his head. The man did not die instantly, but of course it was a fatal blow. He was taken home for 3-4 days, and Amr ibn al-As came to know about this. Of course the man was arrested. Amr ibn al-As came to know about it. So he went to see and visit the sick man, to visit Qadi, and to condole him and tell him, sorry for whatever happened. So Kharija said, Amru, this man wanted to kill you. Instead, I have become the scapegoat. So Amr al-As said, what can I do? Arad Allahu al-Kharija. Allah wanted you to go, so you will go. Allah wanted it that way. Majaliwa. And Amr al-As came back. Of course, that man was instantly beheaded. And the third was Abdurrahman ibn Muljam. The correct is not Ibn Muljim. The correct is Ibn Muljam. Ibn Muljam came there. And whatever happened, inshallah, we shall see. You can see that the root of descent with Ali ibn Abi Talib is his dedication to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether it is for the ambition of politics or the crown or the khilafah or whatever. But it was Ali ibn Abi Talib al-Islam's commitment to Sharia and to the act of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that finally brought this enmity, which we shall be discussing later tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.